Hello everyone, this is Jade Inspiration Masters. As a part of our inspiring series, we get an opportunity to meet the difference makers, the artists, the entrepreneurs, the business owners who are making a difference not just in the Dallas-Fort Worth area but around the world. And today is no different. I have a very special guest here with me. He is Varud, and Varud is going to talk about a whole lot of things. Before I introduce to him, welcome Varud to
Thank you very
Inspiration
much
Masters.
for having me.
Yes, I'm glad you could find time and talk to us.
I'm very excited to be here.
Yes, he has his amazing book, Bhagwan Ke Pakwan. And we are going to be talking a lot about that. Let me tell you something about Varud. He started out here, he's born and brought up in Plano. So a lot of you are around here. And he has been to his elementary school, which is Wells Elementary here, and then Schimelpfenig Middle School,
yeah.
and he went to Jasper High School. After that, he got into TAMS, which is the Texas Academy of Math and Science. That's for the elite group of people. So again, a great
extremely nerdy group of people.
Yeah, extremely nerdy group of people. Yeah. And then he graduated from the business school, from the NYU Stern School of Business, major in finance. And after that, he wrote a book, Bhagwan Ke Pakwan. And Varud has also written children's book series for the LaLiT Hotel Group. It's called Elphie, and that explores the themes of diversity and inclusivity. And he's currently on his second book, which is a graphic novel called Chotu, and which is taking back us to 1947 Delhi at the time of partition of India.
Yeah.
So we have a lot to talk about, Varud, and the very interesting part is, of course, the book, and everybody likes food. I think everybody here likes food, so that's
Hopefully.
very interesting. So you went to the TAMS, as you said, it's the nerd school, right?
Very much.
Then you go to the Stern School of Business.
Mm-hmm.
You get a degree in business and finance, and of course we are all eating. But how did you end up thinking about it, writing a book? And again, for our viewers, one of the important things is it's not just a book about cooking. It is about culture and it's about places and visiting places. So tell us something, how did you get there?
Yeah, so after school, I did consulting for a year. But I only survived in the real world for about 6 months until I had my own little existential crisis. And the idea was I knew there was something about food that really interested me. And I made that decision is that now I have enough privilege to be able to go and travel at this age, didn't have any dependencies on me, so I decided might as well give it a shot.
Yes.
And so that's how I ended up in South America actually for about 6 months, learning how to cook Argentinian barbecue.
Oh, okay.
From the locals, by living in the country, and that's where I started experiencing that there's more to food than just eating. You know, there's
that's good, interesting.
Yeah, there's an experience that comes around food. There's stories behind dishes.
Absolutely.
And if as a culture, you know, we spend hours watching documentaries and food shows, why can't we use food as a platform to explore deeper stories?
Deeper stories, that's right. Because we see on television the Cutthroat Kitchen or the Master Chef.
Exactly.
All of those fancy things, but there is way more than that.
Food offers a lens into these people, the cultures, and the histories behind them.
Right. So that is a very interesting part. It's just not about cooking, but it's about way more than that. So that was a amazing thing. I think you visited so many places for writing the book. So you said you have at least 5 different places in mind where you have visited and you talk to people and learn about the recipes. So tell us something about it.
In the book, we went to 5 locations. And again, the idea was India has so much to explore and eat. We wanted to capture just a bit of each of these cultures.
Right.
And with those cultures, different faiths. You know, India truly is a melting pot of different people, different lifestyles. So the hope was we didn't capture all of them, but we captured as much as possible, which is 5. A Buddhist monastery up in the north, in Spiti. We went to a Zoroastrian town called Udvara, where it's a symbol of Parsi heritage and culture. We went to Jagannath temple in Orissa, where they have Chappan Bhog, which is 56 dishes cooked daily for the Lord of the Universe. And the last 2 locations were Kolkata, where there's a community of Baghdadi Jews that have actually declined in numbers. So there's only 20 people left there fighting to preserve their culture and their faith. And the last location was Meghalaya. Definitely one of my favorite spots.
Okay, awesome.
Where there was a Christian tribe. Where Christianity has come into the tribe, but they also have this very ancient ritualistic religion that they follow as well.
So we are definitely going to go to Meghalaya.
Yes.
As it's one of your favorite places. So let's have a look at
Let's
Meghalaya.
do that.
Yeah.
So I'd like you to, me to tell you the story of this village. Probably it was not called Gomaset, it was called Paham Indi. It is the place where natural fire occurred and burned the houses, burned the residences due to probably actions of spirits. That's what they believe. Because beer is part of the food of the gods. Not get drunk also. Simply they will get lively. So Christianity came to Northeast in 1890 through the Society of the Divine Savior. And the people first of all narrated that story. See, life here is miserable. So let us go for a new life, new path.
Oh, great. That is awesome.
Yeah.
So can you tell us something what's going on over there?
So Meghalaya, it's in northeast of India. It's a part that you don't get to see too much. I think if you travel to India, you stay to the Golden Triangle of Jaipur, Delhi, Agra. But we went to this village, and off the bat, they accepted us. Amazingly, we were these 3 Delhiites coming. We didn't know what we were getting ourselves into.
Right.
But they just brought us into their culture. Within the first hour, they'd fed us. They put their Meghalayan textiles on top of us.
Wonderful. That's interesting.
They took us for an animal sacrifice. So this is actually part of their religion, which they say predates Hinduism, and has come and has mixed with Hinduism over the years. There's lots of influences from other parts of Asia as well. And what's happening is that they have these 2 gourds in front of them that represents deities. Or ancestors or spirits of the forest. There's a story of one of them is called Peng. And Peng is actually this trickster spirit that mankind had to tame. And now Peng helps mankind in his own way. So we have those. And they have a chicken which is being slaughtered. And the entails are being actually read as a prediction for a harvest that they're about to do. Or the sowing of the seeds. So it's kind of asking the ancestors, how is this going to go for us? But the food aspect here is very interesting too, because you saw in the video, he says rice beer is the true food of the gods.
Right, okay.
And what that means
so that's what they were cooking.
So they're fermenting rice beer on a regular basis. Actually, they fermented it in our rooms that we were staying in as well.
Oh, wow.
So we were so interested. They just had a corner where rice beer was being fermented, and 4 days later we drank it. Which was very nice. But rice beer is such a large part of their culture. We didn't drink water for 4 days. We were drinking rice beer
that's
for 4 days.
all you have. That's interesting.
The harvest festival is going on, and there's these ladies with these giant bamboo sticks just going around pouring pouring rice beer for people. And then the rice beer is also used as an offering to the deities. So you see, it's not just about the faith, it's about the culture of how rice beer is.
It's woven everywhere.
Wow. Everywhere.
That's interesting. And that's the same kind of thing you observed at all the different places you visited.
Each place, when we set out on this journey, we were like, cool, we'll learn about how faith has influenced food. But what we've learned along these ways is that it's not just a one-way street. It's that in a lot of ways, food or like what's available and the cultural elements have gone to influence a lot more themselves.
Wow. So again, This book is by Varud Gupta along with his friend Devang Singh, and he's taken the pictures of everything. So it's a very interesting combination. Yes. So we can see the food.
Yeah.
Only thing we can do is smell and taste is a part missing
Yeah.
out of it. Okay.
But there's recipes at the end.
Recipes at the end, yeah.
Each chapter has 3 to 4 recipes, so that you can try to make them at
So
home.
most of the people would be good. Somebody like me who don't know how to cook are out of luck.
Yeah.
Or they would depend on somebody to do it.
I'll get you.
So that is good. So now the name of the book is very interesting. Bhagwan Ke Pakwan, right? It's a food of gods. So how did he come with the name?
So the funny story here is we didn't start with the book. We actually wanted to make a web series, which we're now trying to do once more. Me and Devang were taking a vacation in Goa. And there was a pitch that we had to do for Discovery Channel. And a few minutes before the call, the person who was connecting us had said, "Oh, by the way, this person doesn't speak much English, so make the pitch as Hindi as possible."
Oh.
And so we're sitting there, we have a pitch deck, it's called The Food of the Gods. You're like, Ab ye Hindi mein kaise? Like, how do we make this Hindi? So me and Devang are sitting there like, what's a catchy thing? We're throwing out names, and Devang, he knows Hindi much better than I do. We're thinking about rhyming. And so it's like Bhagwan and Pakwan, they rhyme very well together. And that's honestly where it came. It feels catchy.
It is. Yeah. It is, because there are so many cookbooks out there, but Bhagwan Ke Pakwan, the food of God, we haven't seen that name. So that is very, very interesting story. And there are so many recipes in the book. What kind of recipes you've included? As you said, the culture is mixed.
Yeah, so the one thing that does set this book apart is it's not just recipes. You go through it, it's like a travel narrative.
Okay.
It's very much written in a style of us as friends going on a journey through these 5 different cultures. But we have recipes at the end. We haven't changed them as much as possible.
Right.
So it's a documentation of the recipes as consumed or as cooked at these locations.
Right, right.
Because we went to places that aren't typically explored. People don't get to go there.
Right.
We felt this sort of responsibility to capture it as it is.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because you can't add anything.
Yeah, we didn't want to change.
Yeah,
we made some substitutions here and there. We made suggestions here and there, but it's very much the recipes as we found them.
Okay, so that's sounds very interesting to me, that you go to 5 places in the world, which and especially in India, and they're untouched. And you get the recipes from there, because that's not very easy to find. No. I can't pick up a cookbook and say, okay, I'm going to get this particular recipe from this place.
Absolutely.
And especially when one of the cultures, you said it's not even, they don't have enough people to keep it on.
Exactly. So the ones about the Baghdadi Jews, there's only 20 people left.
Yes.
So it's even more important that we capture the recipes. If you want to change it along the way, go for it.
Yes.
But we wanted to, as much as possible, capture what they had as their culture.
It is so interesting to know about this, because of course I like food, and now you intrigue me so much that I'm going to go look for the recipes and see what we can make out of it. Also, I think this book has created a buzz because of what you put in there. And it has a lot of journalists, the top journalist, Sashi Tharoor, and a lot of other people have taken note of it. How do you feel about that part? Because you grew up in Plano here in the US. Now people in India know you, and you bringing in the recipe which they have not heard of. So how do you feel about that?
It's amazing, honestly. I also, if I look 2-3 years back, I wasn't a writer. And I very much acknowledge that I am a young writer myself, and I'm working on developing my voice, my style. So it's very encouraging for me to have this first round of feedback of people saying, hey, this concept is interesting. The way you've tackled it, the way you've written about it is also very interesting. So it's great for me. It's like, okay, cool. Maybe there's something here as a writer that I can continue to explore.
No, when I saw that, I did not know that it is so much in depth. It's something which is totally different. It isn't not something which you cook every day with a different flavor. This is something which you don't see
out there. Like there's insects. There's recipes of cicadas, which in Meghalaya they call the World Cup insect. Because they only come every 4 years. So it's a very unique blend of recipes in this book.
Okay, I don't know. I'm going to try that. What's your favorite one out of all of them?
Ooh, okay. So again, we had these amazing experiences in Spiti. We were trying to follow the Buddhist monks through the different villages, and we got to this one village, which was Chicham village. And at Chicham village, actually, we found these aunties sitting making momos. And for me, it's like those momos were delicious because they had cheese and mutton inside of it. But the experience of sitting there and just like you have this village of aunties around you cooking together, it's those experiences that really mattered. Or there's a chicken and bamboo shoots from Meghalaya, which has a very interesting texture because they use rice powder. It's actually the perfect picture right here. They're putting rice powder into it, which gives it a very glutinous consistency.
Wow.
But there's a fermented bamboo which is also used. So it has this very tangy, chicken, savory flavor. It's delicious. Yeah.
Oh, so we have to go there though.
Yes. Meghalaya, I can hook you up with the Albinus, who is the person. He has 2 homestays there. But fair warning, there's no electricity. There's no AC. And he doesn't give you water, he gives you rice.
That's right. Yeah, just the FYI, right? So we found out that there was and in terms of culture, when you went in there, I guess you were very well accepted everywhere where you went in.
You know, so it's interesting because in Udvara, the Parsi town, there's very much a lot of people told us before going there that you're going to be an outsider. That you might not be accepted. And through the book we explored why that feeling comes about. It's because they're very much trying to preserve a culture that's in decline, and for that to preserve, maybe some of us do need to remain as outsiders. Which it makes sense.
It does make sense,
But when you talk about food, and I think when you come with this genuine curiosity to learn about their culture and their faith, people open up. And I think it's doing it with that genuine intent. And obviously the intent of filling your belly at the end of the day, that people will come and want to share their stories with you.
And that is so nice that when you take deep interest, people would be to be willing to expose.
I mean, if they didn't open up to us, we wouldn't have been able to create this book. So we're very grateful.
Same with Jagannath Puri, on the outside to find out what's going on. And
definitely.
That was very interesting. You have you're also, along with the food, we'll take a little diversion to take you to, or you take us to Chandni.
Yes.
You are doing a book called Chotu. And even before that, I want to talk to you about one of the book which you've already done. That is the Elphie, the children's. So you mentioned something about there was a launch, and it's a particular hotel group.
I was in the US when they launched it, so I wasn't there in India. But it was for the LaLiT hotel group. Keshav Suri, who was actually a very big part of Sec 377, which got overturned last year, about rights of individuals in India. He was the one who championed this project, and so he's done amazing work in India. But for the launch, what they did was they invited drag queens to actually open the book up and read it to a group of children in the hotel. And it was so cute. I saw the video and I was like, because that's what the book is about, actually.
That's right.
So Elphie meets a peacock, who resembles a drag queen in India, because it's very much to explore these ideas of diversity and inclusivity, especially as generations now grow up, as these kids become the future leaders of the world. It's very important for them to also understand the different lifestyles that people lead.
So that is a very interesting story. So now that book is available at particular hotel.
So when you stay at a LaLiT property now, as a child, you get one of the books, which is very cool.
So I mean, you're out of luck, I think. You have to go there to get
in
one.
India, and they have a property in London as well, I believe.
So that's a very interesting part, that you were a part of writing a children's book too, along with the cookbook, and now something else is coming up, and that's what we are interested in knowing too. That is a book called Chotu. And you're taking us to Chandni Chowk. Tell us something about it.
So growing up in the US, we had very glimpses of life in India. So the past 2 years that I've been living in Delhi, I've been wanting to explore some of these areas that I knew as a child, but didn't get into. And one of those areas was Chandni Chowk. As a child, my nana would take me through the streets, the gullies, and again, everything comes back to food in my life. But it's like, we'd go there and we'd have chaat. We'd have aloo tikki, we'd have daulat ki chaat. The samosas, parante wale gali. So we'd have these things. But now, visiting when I'm older, you kind of see the reality behind this romantic vision you have.
Yes.
So there's real lives, real experiences that people have. And Chandni Chawk has changed. It's no longer experiencing what I'm calling it, at least. It's golden era.
Golden era, yeah.
Yeah, it's decaying. It's kind of getting lost in old Delhi itself. So when I was talking to my Nana about this idea came up of like showing these stories of the people that lived there. And in 1947, when the partition was happening, was a very pivotal stage, is because before you actually had a community of people living together in harmony.
Yes.
He would tell me about Nais, who were the barbers, who would cut their hair.
Yeah.
You had the Anglo-Indians with their own community there. Everyone was there, and then the events of the partition changed that. Communal divisions, the fear and the hatred between people. And so that's actually where this graphic novel takes place, is Chotu, who's a student living and growing up in Chandni Chawk, and has this idea that Chandni Chawk is never going to change. But the British leave. New political parties emerge, fear and hatred gets spread, and the world that Chotu grew up in changes forever. And so over 6 chapters, we tackle the story of Chotu coming to this realization of that change, as well as the people around them.
That is very interesting, and I think a lot of people listening, they know about Chandni Chawk.
Yes.
A lot of them might visited Chandni Chawk, and it will be very interesting to listen.
Hopefully.
As well.
And the thing we've learned writing, I'm working with Ayushi Rastogi, who's an illustrator based out of India. What we've learned is that we start off with a story that in itself was amazing. But the more we explored it, we learned it's not too different from what's happening in today's world.
Yes.
Where religious tension is at a high, communal tensions continue developing, lots of power plays for the sake of power, and fear and hatred being propelled. And so it's, through this journey of covering 1947, we've actually ended up right back at the present.
Yeah, that is correct. Yeah, it's just not gone much far in that arena, even though we are now would be having flying cars or AI, but we're still back to the...
We're still back to some old mentality. And that's why it's called Chotu.
Yes.
Because it's easy in this world to feel small.
Yes.
It's feel that you can't do much.
Yes.
But as Chotu finds out, there's always something that we can do. We can always change. We can always grow at the end of the day.
Oh, so it'll be very interesting. We are excited.
Thank you.
We're looking forward to Chotu's publication. Currently, the book Bhagwan Ke Pakwan is published by Penguin. It's in India.
Yes.
And it's available on Amazon.
And in the US, you can buy it on Amazon as well.
On Amazon as well. Okay. And when do you think Chotu is coming out?
Chotu?
We got enough people intrigued about Chotu.
It's supposed to be out Independence Day in August. But we're a little behind our schedule right now. But around that time, between August and September. Yeah.
So this is very interesting to have Varud here, and he's born in Plano, and he's talking about Chandni Chawk 1947. So you taking a lot of people out there to a lot of memory lanes.
Yeah.
That's just so amazing, and I'm so glad we having this conversation.
Thank you very much.
This is so awesome, and there are a lot of people who will be like you, will be interested in writing books. So if you have some tips and if you have some suggestions for the upcoming authors, because we work with so many young people who are doing a whole lot of things out there. So if you have any message for them.
Absolutely. I mean, I consider myself to be a young author. I'm still figuring out my voice and tone. But I'm going to use movies to help me out here. Ratatouille, which is one of my favorite movies.
Oh yes, I love it.
Yeah, it makes an appearance in the book as well as a reference. There's a line, is that anyone can cook, but only the fearless can be great.
Yes, okay.
Or there's another movie, the Bradley Cooper, Lady Gaga one that came out. They talk about singing, is that everyone has talent.
Yes.
But you need to have something to say, you have to have a voice that you want to get out there.
Right.
And I think for anyone that's emerging into, whether it's writing or any other field, just having the talent isn't enough.
Yes.
Just being a cook isn't enough in Ratatouille's case.
Yes.
Is that you have to push.
Yeah.
And you need to have something to say.
Yeah.
And I think as a writer, it's a journey of figuring out what it is that you want to say it and how you're going to say it and bring it out to the world.
Very, very interesting message for everybody out there. And how can people reach you? There's a lot of things you shared.
Yeah.
Now I'll be looking for where to look for Varud. Where is Varud? So how do you find out about?
You can follow me on Instagram. Just Varud Gupta, VARUDGUPTA.
Okay.
I post what I'm doing. Usually it's lots of pictures of food that I'm eating.
Okay.
But next month...
And don't look up the pictures when you're hungry.
Yeah. But doing a bit of traveling this summer. Next month I've rented a camper van in Iceland to myself. So I'm going on a 10-day drive around Iceland. So I'll be posting all that on Instagram as well.
Okay, wonderful. So we'll be following you
Please do.
on that. Okay, wonderful. So again, Varud, thank you so much for spending the time with us. On behalf of the entire team of Inspiration Masters,
thank you.
We wish you all the best with the current book, which is out there, and the upcoming book, Chotu. So we'll be looking forward to it.
Thank you very much.
Everyone, thank you so much for watching. We had a very interesting conversation with Varud today. Do not forget to sign up on the YouTube channel and on Facebook. So you can like us on Facebook and also click on to the channel, hit the bell button to make sure you do not miss anything, an interview like this.
Yeah, hit subscribe.
Hit
so
subscribe.
You get more inspirational videos.
Again, thank you for watching. This is Jay at Inspiration Masters, and I'll see you in a week.